What is up, y'all? It's your girl Brand New, and I'm back in a motherfucking building. This time I am back for a recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 11. This is the reunion part 1. They didn't give us a whole bunch this episode, but you know, they gave us a little something. It was alright. I'm thinking that third part is probably going to be the best part of these reunion parts. The last part is always seems like the best. Anyways, let's get off into it. They show the ladies getting dressed. You know, they're getting dressed for the reunion. We see Nene on the phone with Marlo saying how, you know, fake Cynthia is, how Cynthia has betrayed her. Why would you want to go against your good friend? We see Cynthia talking with Andy. She's crying. She's emotional, you know, because she's just hurt by how Nene has been acting towards her ever since Kenya popped up at the finale at Cynthia's wine cooler event, honey. Look, I know it's something fancier, honey, but that's just what it is, okay? Peach Bellini. Is that the name of the drink, honey? We see Portia. She looking nice, big, and pregnant, honey. We see her getting ready. Dennis is with her. He's dragging behind, honey. He's backstage sleeping in her little dressing room. I thought that was cute. Who the fuck else? Shamari, you know, we see her getting ready. Eva, you know, we see everybody getting ready. And, I mean, that right there just pretty much set the tone of we already know Nene and Cynthia is going to get into it. Okay, so let's get to the reunion looks. Okay, my first person... at first I was not at all crazy about any of their dresses when I first saw them on Instagram, but normally how it works is once they get to the reunion, they actually look really good. So I will say the first dress that I really liked was Nene's. I really liked Nene's dress. It's very basic, but I liked it with her ponytail. I just really liked her whole look. I felt like she looked good standing up or sitting down in that dress. That was a really good choice, Nene. This is one of your best looks. That white pantsuit you had, what was that, season 7? That was one of your good ones too. So, you my girl, honey, but them like your best looks. Like when Nene keeps it simple, Nene gets it right. Cynthia looked beautiful. Hair on point. Got that blonde in there. It looks good against Cynthia's complexion. Cynthia's a beautiful woman. Cynthia killed it. You know, she was looking good too. Equally as Nene, though. It's not like, oh my God, Nene looks so much better. Like the three I'm choosing, they just look all equally good. So we got Cynthia. The next person. Who the hell is the next person? I'm going to have to say the next person is Eva. I'm going to have to give it to Eva. Yeah, those were my top. Nene, Cynthia, and Eva. Eva looked good. She brought in her little top model hairstyle. She had that old boy haircut. Loved it. She was looking fierce with her eyes. Y'all know Eva got them pretty ass eyes. Shoes was on point. The dress was dramatic. Like, bitch, I'm here. I'm a tree. What's good? I'm ready for whatever. You know, so Eva looked really good. Eva would have killed that, though, with her normal style. Like, Eva, I really realized, especially on this season, how beautiful she is. She could pull off long, short hair, like... She's very natural looking without the makeup. Like a lot of them, they don't really look all that good without that makeup. I've seen Candy without hers. She need hers. I done seen Portia. She need hers. Eva just does not. Her and Cynthia, to me, they just don't need it like that. Shamari don't look that bad without it. Shamari, would be next, though, after Eva. And then I would do, we'll say Candy and then Portia. I just did not like, I didn't like Portia's hair. I felt like it would have looked better if she would have just did her long hair, or maybe some, maybe like a bob or something, a badass bob. Yeah, I think that would have looked really cute on Portia with her face. But she didn't look bad or nothing. It wasn't like, like some of them at times, they have looked really bad. I didn't feel like Portia really looked all that bad, but maybe the outfit was fine. She's pregnant, so it's not going to be a lot that she could wear, but maybe just the hair, if it was different, maybe I would have received the outfit, but it's a no for me. I really like Candy's hair. I felt like that was pretty. At first, I did not like Candy's hair online, but when I seen it at the reunion, I felt like it was pretty. So Andy pretty much talks about Portia. They show clips of her life and, how her and Dennis is doing and how he treats her and how everything is good with them. And, they had, they're pregnant with the baby and, getting engaged. And, Portia has had a really good year with him. I am very happy for Portia because it wasn't that long ago she was with that abusive ass Cordell Stewart. And he was emotionally, I don't give a fuck what nobody say, abusive towards that girl. He was controlling. You can just tell that she was so controlled when she got on here. But now that she's with Dennis, it's like she has her own voice. She says she doesn't want to lose her voice. I think that that's very self-aware for Portia to say that. So I feel like she's pretty much on the right track. Do I think it'll last forever with Dennis? No. I don't see it. I don't think it's going to last forever, but I think, they will be together for a while. I do see some things in their relationship that I would feel is a red flag, like him having to pay for everything. It's always him, like, I don't know. And it could be, you guys, just the nature of their relationship, because a lot of people just had them type of relationships. And I mean, if it works for them, it works for them. But it just always seems like he's buying her. And though, those type of relationships, they just don't seem like they last that long. It's about these material gifts. They get into how expensive her ring is. That's high as hell. Y'all could have bought a fucking house. Well, Portia got the house, but y'all talking about y'all want to live in the city. So I don't know. I just look at shit different. But if that's what, that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. We do have the history of him, being a womanizer. I don't forget stuff like that when a man is sneaky with women behind your back. When you go through that, and I know people say, well, you got to forgive and forget, but when you go through that with people that are womanizers, that means that you're dealing with a man that needs a lot of attention, so he will never really let go of any exes. He's going to feel like he's with you and he's still with them. I'm not saying that's what Dennis is doing, but that's a very big red flag, I feel, in a relationship. Okay, so then we get into this whole spiel of Nene saying that Portia is not supportive. Portia said that you didn't come to the baby shower, not the baby shower, the gender reveal. You didn't come to a lot of events I've had, Nene, and I've tried to support you. And Nene was like, when did you support me? And then Portia had mentioned something from the past. Nene was like, well, that was a while ago. That's what I'm saying. You could ask some of these other girls on here and ask them if you supportive. And, Portia was like, well, no, I'm talking about you. And, and it's just like, it seemed like I've heard somebody else on here saying that she's not supportive. Maybe it was Candy, but Candy, you can't expect for Portia to be supportive. And Kandi didn't say nothing on this reunion, but I think that's like the only other person I've heard that said that Portia was not supportive. So I don't know what that's about with her and Nene. I just feel like ever since Closetgate happened, they're just not going to be on the same page. You know, Nene feels like Portia is her enemy, and I feel that Portia feels that Nene is her enemy as well. You know, it's just kind of like unfortunate because they was just getting their shit back on track, but Portia be playing victim, and Nene is not here for that. Nene calls that shit out. And something else I want to mention to you all, this is just my personal opinion looking at this show. Without a Nene or a Kenya, this show is not really, it cannot last. I hate to say it, but, and like I said, I don't feel like they need Kenya, but I'm just saying, just look at the show if Nene was not on here. If Nene was not on here, it would be kind of boring. There were certain parts in the reunion, it was kind of boring until they start talking, in my opinion, to Nene. Because I was just like, oh, okay. But, you know, it's the beginning of the reunion, you know. But I don't know. Nene just brings, you know, that energy, that real, raw, I don't give a fuck how 9 of y'all feel. I'm going to say what the fuck I need to say. And she represents that over them. And they don't like that shit, but they got to deal with it. She the HBIC. Andy, you ain't shit. You kept trying to imply that Nene was at Floyd Mayweather's birthday party, and she was like, no, I was in Canada. Asked Goldie over there. And Cynthia, she got annoyed with Nene. She said, yes, Goldie confirmed she was in Canada. And I'm just like, look at y'all. Cynthia and Nene, man. They done broke up for a second time, y'all. Will they ever get back together? Y'all think that this shit is over or what? But it's kind of cute and funny when they are into it, because they both just, I don't know. You can tell that they really care about each other, you know, especially Cynthia. Poor Cynthia, boy, I tell you. She still is pressed that Nene don't want to be her friend. She was talking all that shit, what I tell y'all in them interviews. Now she's talking that because she know they ain't cool. But she's just so hurt that her and Nene is not friends. Because she was just like, oh, we're not friends. Because a couple of times on this reunion, Nene said, well, you know, me, oh, you a friend? When I was talking, they was talking about some text messages or something. Nene said, when I mentioned a close friend, I damn sure wasn't talking about you, because we know me and you ain't close. And here goes Cynthia, we not close, we not friends no more, Nene. I'm like, girl, she don't want to be bothered with you. She feel like you sneaky, you do shit behind her back. Now that I have paused Portia, on my TV, her dress does not look bad at all. It is just the hair that I don't like. Maybe she could have had some hair down in the back. If the hair was different, then I feel like she would have looked sharper to me. But yeah, now that I paused this, pretty. They talked about Kandi Sergey. Look at me, can't even get the goddamn. You wrote the song, I can't remember the goddamn word. They talk about Kandi's surrogacy journey. Her and Todd is on. They got the buns in the oven. They are ready to go. So Kandi about to have 2 more kids, which I said before, and I don't apologize. It ain't nothing but a goddamn business transaction for her to stay on this show to keep a storyline. That is unfortunately where we are at with this show. I feel like a lot of these women are going in these different directions for a storyline to stay around, because they gotta get the check. They gotta make the money. Okay, so they get on Eva for being shady and not owning her shade. And that is true. Eva did not own her shade when she came on here. Like, she would just be saying shit, and then they would have to remind her what she said, and she'd be like, well, no, it wasn't like that. And so I think Eva will do better with that if she comes back next season. I think that's just Eva speaking her fucking mind. She probably don't even mean that shit. But she's harmless with that. Candy and her get into it about the Shamia comment where Candy thought that Eva was saying something funny about dark-skinned girls because Shamia is a dark-skinned woman. And what did she say? She said she's black with the K and not with the Q. And Candy was just like, well, I just thought it sounded funny. And Eva was like, well, how dare you think that I would talk about her that type of way? I am not a colorist, so they go back and forth for a while. And I'm just like, the girl ain't a colorist. You got the shit wrong, Candy. And that's it, And then a couple of people, I forgot who, but they was just like, yeah, it did kind of sound funny. Portia said it flew over her head. She didn't really think too much about it until Candy started saying what she was saying. So Candy, bitch, you the main one that had a problem with it. I don't think the girl is a colorist. I don't think Kevin McCall, shit, he's, dark skinned. She had a baby with him. So, I mean, and I know a lot of people will say, well, a woman to have a baby with a certain man and then still, yeah, that's true. But I don't feel like Eva is a colorist, I just really don't get that from her. They get to talking about Giovanna's unimportant ass, and Portia get to telling everybody, well, she's really that girl, and she was really popular. She was way more popular than you, Eva. And it's just like, Portia, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Who cares about Giovanna? She ain't that bitch. Eva says she don't know that bitch. And that's it. Ain't nothing memorable about her except shit when she got drunk, They was laughing at her instead of Shamari, so she ain't special. Todd is coming out with his own lemonade, honey. Y'all know Candy's husband. He coming out with his own lemonade because Mama Joyce called him a lemon. That goddamn Candy strikes again, goddammit. She's coming out with another business. I know that's right, bitch. I noticed that Shamari wants to work with Candy. I feel like that would be good for the two of them. Because Shamari has a very pretty voice. They talk about Nene making shady comments towards Candy. Nene said, all I got to say is she's a great writer. And that is true. A lot of people, they just don't like Candy's voice like that. They don't feel like she could sing. I feel like she has somewhat of a voice. I don't think it's all that damn great. Every man wants a woman. Look. Look, ever since she did that, honey, ain't nobody fooling with Candy, honey. But she's a damn good songwriter. We will give Candy that, honey. Next, Andy gets to talking to not Eva, Nene, about what she puts on her social media. And Andy is, saying all these different tweets that Nene puts out about Greg and sometimes the girls and, that type of different thing. Her issues with Greg. And Candy and Cynthia said that they don't feel like it's right and, she shouldn't do that. And Nene was like, well, I just don't give a fuck about their fucking opinion. It's my social media, Andy. I do what I want with it. And Andy kept trying to argue with her on that, and I'm completely with Nene on that. It's like, it's your social media. If you are having a hard time, you may want to say different quotes, or you may want to ask questions. That's what people do now to, I don't know, get help, get answers. I mean, if that's what she want to do, and that's what works for her, I don't see what the big deal is. Oh, let me get into Eva and Nene getting into it. Eva confronted Nene about her aggressive attitude at the reunion. She felt like Nene was being aggressive. I feel like Nene is just being Nene. And I'm trying to figure out what the hell didn't happen with them to the point where their relationship is where it's at. I think that Eva probably has watched the show back. And she saw some shit with Nene she didn't like. Like, she didn't like how Nene was acting at her bachelorette. And she didn't like the shit that Nene was doing at her wedding. She felt like at different events, Nene was making things about her. Even with Greg being called by Cynthia to come and speak at her little party she had for her wine cooler. So I kind of agree with Eva on that, because I do feel like at those events, Nene did kind of bring the room down. And it's just like, just because you are having a hard time, that don't mean you need to put a black cloud on the whole room and whose party it is. And Nene was just like, well, what business is it of yours that I was acting like that? And then Eva was just like, well, it was my bachelorette party. You know, I had everything to do with it because it was a party about me and you was acting like that. And I feel like everything is not about you all the time. So I can understand, you know, where Eva was coming from with that. We get into the hashtag chill thing. That's with Cynthia Bailey and Mike Hill. They get on Cynthia for naming every goddamn thing Bailey, Lake Bailey. Bailey is the name of her damn dog. She had told us Mike Hill is in her bed at Lake Bailey. I mean, it was just a lot going on. I do agree with what Nene said. She feels like it's overkill for Cynthia and Mike to be doing all them hashtags. And I agree. I just feel like it's a bit overdone. It looks unnatural. You don't see nobody else. And you got girls on here that's been with their man for some years. And they're not doing all of that. And sometimes it's not a good sign that they're doing all of that, all that overkill. Oh, we love each other. We just got to be married. No, if it works out, it works out. I'm very happy for Cynthia. It's not that you guys, I don't want her to have love. That's not it. I am very happy for Cynthia because I know that Peter took her and her finances through a lot. So I know that Cynthia's older. Noelle is off to college. She needs somebody to make her happy. I understand that. But it is something about her relationship with Mike Hill that seems very much so off with all that shit they do on Instagram. How inappropriate he is. He's always talking about something sexual, or what was the one episode he talking about some, well, I ain't been pulling out. Like, what motherfucker just at random at a fucking party just tell you they goddamn business like that? Thought that was very suspect. I also thought it was very interesting that Portia said she would take mother advice from Candy. You bitches are not cool. You know, y'all even both said y'all don't really support each other at y'all events. So, and that goes for both of y'all. But I don't blame Portia for not going to Candy's events, because Candy, you and that goddamn candy coated clique, y'all always fucking with Portia. That's why she don't come around no more. It's way too much drama. It's her word against all of y'all's. And you have a way, Candy, of when you get with your goddamn friends, you like to stretch the narrative. That's what I'll say. That's what you do with the candy coated clique. So, but I just feel like Portia, please don't be trusting Candy. I don't think Candy really, don't get me wrong, you guys, I'm happy that they could be cordial, but I just hope that they just try to be that and nothing else. Don't try to force something, but I do see something within Portia that is just like, oh, I just want to be close with Candy again. And, you know, I'm just so, it's like she's sick of Nene. And I'm not saying she doesn't have the right to be, but don't be so sick of Nene that, oh, all of a sudden you trust Candy. Because I just feel like Candy, I don't think Candy really like her like that. I think she does a good job of, you know, putting up a front. Because all that time she wanted that girl to kiss her ass over shit she said when Candy had said and did shit too. You could have been the reason I lost everything. No, bitch, you're the reason you almost lost everything, because you decided to kiss your goddamn coworker and have these threesomes with your husband. See, you were at the scene of the crime. You know, you participated in that shit. I will never respect Candy for just blaming Portia and Phaedra for that dungeon shit. I just will never, And even now, Candy, you talking about you'll leave the show if Phaedra come back. Y'all need Phaedra. Y'all need somebody else on here. You do. Because this reunion was a bit boring at certain parts. You know, it was a little bit boring. It's like I need my action. So hopefully we get a little bit more on the next reunion. All right, you guys, that is all I have to say about the reunion part 1. Let me know how you felt about the reunion. Who do you feel like were your top 3 best dressed? Who got into the best argument? Who read who? Like, what was your favorite part of the reunion? I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out later.